Hey, I wanted to make a quick video because I saw this post. Someone was sent this image from the class server that is currently on the Battle.net launcher for some people, because I didn't get it. And it looks like Blizzard is, I guess, asking some people what specializations they would like next. Similar to how they added Devourer for Demon Hunter. They also added augmentation to the Evoker after a patch. So it's possible for them to add different specializations, which would be cool. It would be awesome if all classes would eventually have 4 specs like Druid originally had. But yes, so looks like they have Healer Hunter, which I didn't expect. I thought they would make a Tank Hunter, maybe, or maybe even turn Survival into a tank. But a Healer Hunter will utilize a melee and range arsenal. Team up with your pet to disperse bandages, medicine, and tinctures to those in need. Administer first aid to your team as you dart and weave him along the battlefield, with your pet complementing each heal with its own. And a support priest, I'm not sure uh, about this, but I guess they're it looks like they really want to add more support specs because Evoker having augmentation is technically still a support spec, and maybe there'll be a new addition to support specs needed for each group. Instead of 3 DPS, they'll have 1 support. But a support priest will bless with inner fire, increasing their effectiveness in battle, smite enemies with bolts of light to build up divine power, eventually performing holy words which can burn enemies to ash. Okay, so yes, doing damage as a holy priest or a magic, holy magic instead of shadow magic would be cool, and also adding more of a support playstyle similar to what Disc have, like giving shields, which is not technically healing, but yeah, increasing their damage abilities with holy magics would be cool. So the ranged DPS monk is actually something I thought of and wanted for a while. It's like, imagine shooting Kamehameha waves or Masenko, like Dragon Ball character, which would be really cool. So a ranged DPS monk would overload their inner spirit, manifesting their chi as crackling lightning bolts and sharp projectiles. Bends the flow of targets with own spirit, disrupting and unraveling them from within, while maintaining their own perfect spiritual balance. Sounds pretty cool. And Tank Shaman is also something I wanted to see. They did have a Tank Shaman in follower dungeons in War Within. So this seems like the most or the highest candidate for the next spec, in my opinion. This is something that people have been asking for a long time. Alright, so Tank Shaman would master the element of Earth, raise boulders as physical shields or to shatter against your enemies, manipulate terrain to hinder and disable enemies, and harness the Earth's deep, latent energies to fortify and empower yourself. And Tank Rogue, this was on Season of Discovery, along with a Tank Warlock and Healer Mage. But a Tank Rogue, it works. It worked. It's a deaf duelist who uses their precision for protection, deflecting blows with parries and quick dodges. They utilize poisons to weaken their foes and tinctures mid-battles to restore their health. So yeah, it's using a bunch of potions. Like, it sounds pretty cool, and also rogues are good at dodging anyway. So it sounds like they could work. It's similar to a Brewmaster Monk, like dodging. Alright, and using brews instead of brews, you have potions or different tinctures or elixirs. Alright, and then a ranged DPS priest. Yeah, so again using holy magic instead of shadow. A radiant caster that scorches foes with searing smites and consecrating flames. Ascend into an angelic form, channeling pure unbroken beams of celestial radiance that pierces through ranks of enemies. That is good for those who like to play priest but don't like the shadow aspect of the priest. Support paladin, another support spec, to perform holy rites and channel the light to bestow potent blessings on allies, consecrate their armor for resilience and their weaponry to strike with precision and power, and bolster their spirits to amplify inner strengths. So, building on Lightsmith, it seemed like it's a pretty cool idea as well. I would have liked a Void Paladin, a Void Knight or something. Then Tank Warlock, channeling fell energies through maces and rune shields. These warlocks ward themselves and their allies from damage. They command a host of demons, siphoning their essence for vitality, binding their souls to share incoming damage or unleashing them in waves to overwhelm their enemies. It would be cool if you can combine or join, like, merge with a Void Walker or something, but using a mace and shield, it sounds pretty cool, and people have been asking for Tank Warlock for a while. Ranged DPS Death Knight, a Lich Death Knight would be cool, but they would unleash the powers of a Lich, wielding necrotic and frost magic to torment the souls of your enemies, conjure corrupting phantasms, grasping hands, and chains of ice to assail your foes, while avoiding death yourself within your phylactery. Yeah, a Lich Death Knight definitely sounds pretty cool. And a Healer Mage, final one. Use your arcane magic to alter the reality of time to cure the wounds of your allies. Preemptively react to enemy combat by shielding and buffing allies with potent element magic. Again, this also worked on Season of Discovery, but kind of similar to Preservation of Evoker, but can be unique in its own way. Alright, but yes, all of these sound pretty cool. It'd be cool if they add all of these eventually, and also a fourth spec to Demon Hunter. But yes, all classes should have 4 specs. I don't think they should add any more new classes. The new spec sounds better, in my opinion. Alright.